In my childhood memory, Mama would come to me.
Angie Senger here with Old Men Stories Opry, and I'm delighted that today I'm being joined by Red Johnson from Minnesota.
Honored. Yes, I'm honored to be here.
And when we started Old Men Stories Opry, and it's a show dedicated to songwriters, the first one I thought about was Red Johnson. But I was in Arizona and you're in Texas, so I thought, when I get back to Minnesota, I'm calling him up.
And that's right. The phone rang, and there you were.
And here we are.
That's right. I couldn't say yes fast enough.
And you know, you're just a songwriting machine, and you've written so many songs and recorded so many songs, and you've had a lot of success with some of them. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes, I have. Rex Allen recorded The Voice, and
when was that?
that was that would have been about 1965, probably, somewhere in there. And Jack Barlow recorded it, and several other people have, and me. I recorded it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and we wrote that song, and I think it was copyrighted in '62. And
The Voice?
yeah, so we've been at it a day or two, and Dave Dudley, wrote a song co-wrote with him. Bud O'Jay again, the Violet and the Rose originator, and I wrote together for 30 years, and we wrote. Dave Dudley had 6 days on the road going, and he didn't have a follow-up for it. And so he came over one night, and he wanted something, figured with transportation or whatever, and so he figured there's a million taxi cab drivers out there, we'll see if we can get something for them. And we did. We sat there that evening and we wrote Taxi Cab Driver, and that's...
Is that the name of it, Taxi Cab Driver?
Yeah.
And he recorded it?
Yeah, it's in both his 6 Days album, the Mercury and the Golden Wing one here. So that, like we said, that didn't do a lot in the United States, but Canada and Australia
We're very
liked it.
good for you. They loved it, huh?
They got their cab drivers over there, I guess.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. And well, that's just.
And you knew Jimmy Dickens too, didn't you have a?
Yeah, that gets back to Bud O'Jay again. O'Jay is spelled A-U-G-E, is French.
A-U-G-E. I
Yeah.
see that written, and I didn't know
yeah.
how to say it.
And he wrote Simple Simon for Hank Thompson, some of those. Well, I wrote with him for 30 years. We wrote together. And I was writing with him at the time, just a point of interest, when Violet and the Rose took off. And well, he had written that, and Johnny Western recorded it, and it had 3 verses in it. It was a little too long for what it needed. And we were down at Flame one day, and Jimmy Dickens was playing there, and we knew Jim quite well. And Jim said, let me take that song to Nashville and see what happens. So he took it over to Mel Tillis, and of course Mel Tillis liked the idea, and rewrote the second verse. And that made a good song,
I love
close
that
song.
song.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
I
a
love
big
that
song. And it's been recorded, I don't know.
It's still sung quite often in the jam sessions, you know,
Yeah.
around in Arizona.
I think at the time it had been covered by 50 or 60 people.
Oh,
you know.
boy.
Yeah. Well, Dolly Parton did it, and Porter Wagner.
Oh,
you
it's
know,
a great
yeah.
song, and those great songs, everybody wants to sing it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how Mel Tillis got his name on there. So it's well, he deserved it. He wrote the second verse.
And you wrote a song for Jim Reeves. Wasn't that The Voice?
Yeah, The Voice.
And that even got. Let me just take a moment to brag about Red Johnson. Here's a book about Jim Reeves, his untold story, and Red Johnson gets a mention in the book here about your song, The Voice.
The Voice, yes. Bud
We're
and,
right
Bud
up
and
in
I
here
wrote
about
that again. And,
Red Johnson in here.
And I.
And he almost recorded it.
Jim Reeves, yes.
He loved it.
We took that song to Nashville and just And we knew John Talley there, and John Talley was a friend of Jim Reeves. And we sang that for him, and he says, "Oh, that's a Jim Reeves song." He said, "Let's get it over there." So he called Mary Reeves, Jim's wife, and she says, "Well, Jim's down during the Ozark Jubilee. He's not home, but come on over." So we went over, and we were sat in Jim's living room and singing songs, and we sang this song for Mary, his wife, and she went bananas. She said, "That's it. That's a song for Jim." Well, then I didn't think no more of it till about 40 years. Fast forward, and then it comes out in the book that this writer of this book was a friend of Mary Reeves, and the song came up, and
And then why didn't he record it?
he didn't. It was on his next session, but he got killed before he got to the session. So he would have recorded it.
Wow,
That would have been a good song for him. So missed that one.
missed that one.
Yeah, missed Jim worse. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So
So the song we're going to hear today
I'll see you in the
is
morning.
another really big song for you
Yeah.
now. This is fairly recent, isn't it? When did you record this one?
I recorded this. It just recently has taken hold a little bit. I recorded it in '98. That's in my Veterans Day album, and I'll see you in the morning. I think when you think back to your childhood, that's how it all, and
I
how Mom used to
love this song, by the way.
how Mom used
This
to
is
tuck
my
us in.
favorite Red Johnson
Your
song.
favorite childhood memory is probably
Yeah.
the last time you felt safe is when your mom would tuck you in, and at night, that.
And what made you write this?
Well, I was thinking.
What was going through your head then?
Well, Mom was failing, and I got thinking back my childhood and this, that, and the other, and it goes, "In my childhood memory, Mama would come to me, say it's Betty by time of the night.
Yeah, this is a great song.
She'd kiss my cheek so sweet, hum a tune and tuck the sheet, and always said as she turned out the light, 'I'll see you in the morning, I love you,' and that's
Yeah.
how it was." And I couldn't sing that song for about 3 weeks after I wrote it. I'd break up every time, and I'd tear up right now just thinking about it. Everybody's got fond memories of their mother and their home.
Well, that's why
home.
this song touches
home,
everybody,
yeah.
and that's why all your songs touch people.
And every
Because you
mother,
write them right from here.
yeah, and
when
every
you write a
mother
song.
identifies with it because that's how she treated her kids. And yeah, this song is my most requested song.
And it's selling a lot of albums for you, I
It
bet.
does,
Yeah.
yeah. And real honored.
So now let's hear this great song by the great songwriter Red Johnson. It's "I'll See You in the Morning"
I'll see you in the
by
morning.
Red Johnson.
Years have passed, and a fortune I have massed. I'd trade it all for what I'm losing now.